Wealthy people admire other wealthy people, while everyone else resents people that are wealthy. Now, here is the huge problem with that. If you hate people that are wealthy, how can you ever become wealthy? Because if you achieve wealth, then you will see yourself as someone that is evil or greedy or a danger to society.
See, I think that also falls in line with how we've seen things in history. While the lower person looks at the person sitting on the top of the stairs, how that low person says, I hate you, but he starts to do very well in life and slowly begins rising to the top of the stairs and may even begin to forget that he came, or he may not forget, but he may not share
Right,
with people. He came from such a low point.
right. I've heard of a guy who, because he had such distaste for people that he considered to be wealthy, and he measured this over an income level. So something happened in his life. I believe he got a promotion of some sort, and he would only keep the amount of money that he felt was appropriate for him to still be a good person, and he'd get rid of everything else. I mean, a gift came to him, a blessing, and he's throwing it away because he believes that he is a bad person for accepting it. And actually, that's going to tie in greatly to another rule that I have coming up. But go ahead, Howard.
So the money that he felt that he needed to live on to be a good person, did he just throw that money away? Did he give it away to other people to help them out? If he gave it away to help other,
I didn't read about any specifics. I just know that once he reached the level of security, basically, he got rid of the money. I don't know how he got rid of the money, but he did.
I'm going to jump in on this one. Now, again, just had the unit on. People have made fun of me for even talking with him. Not all, some. Or watching the television show Jersey Shore. I've mentioned on this show before, and to some friends, I've looked at the show and been impressed with its success. I've looked at the business aspect behind that television program, how it's affected businesses right here in Monmouth County, New Jersey, in Ocean County. Dan and I, we've talked about it. We went to Seaside a few times. We talked about, gee, I wonder how this club's business has improved
Right.
just because this show filmed here. People want to go. You know, I don't hate on the cast of that show. Do I agree with everything they do? Not necessarily, but it's something that interests me. I don't hate them, but there's a lot of people that like they just hate celebrities or people like I don't know if it's because of the image they put on or what, but I decided no, I kind of want to learn how they got to that
Right.
position, and I wouldn't mind it myself.
Yeah,
Getting
Brian,
paid to party,
you know,
gym
it's,
tan laundry. Come on, man. That's awesome.
it's very interesting how you said you look at it through the business section of Jersey Shore. You guys remember how I did on my Tales of Interest, the Man Man and Boardwalk Empire, how I only looked at the history portion,
Right.
not all the other drama. That's good how you examine also TV shows. You look at it through different angles that mostly main people not even may see. They may only watch the drama and then talk about the next day.
Gotcha. Alrighty, for the next one, it's actually extremely close to the last one, but it's different slightly. It says that wealthy people associate with positive and successful people, while many others associate with those that are negative and unsuccessful. Here's the difference between that. They don't hang around people that they feel will bring them down. And I think something that ties in perfectly with that is that I know many people that have gone to their internship and have seriously considered leaving their career because it was a very depressing experience, depending on where you go. I myself, I had an internship. I'm not going to say where, but the guy that was put in charge of me, I swear to God, this guy's one goal was to get me out of the radio industry. He told me that you're not going to make enough money. It's too hard. You're not going to make it. And it's not just in the radio industry. I found out every industry you go, you could be a lawyer. You could go into the industry of the most profitable salary you could get, and somebody will complain about how terrible it is.
And you know what, Chris, you're absolutely right. It's not just with radio or communications. It's all these other fields that these people work in, education or law or medicine. Yeah, people go into it because they may think when they're growing up or in college that this is what they have to do, and when they're studying it, they are unhappy. And then they finally get into it. Yeah, they got a job, but you know what? They're still unhappy. So they have all these interns, like let's say you,
Right.
let's say you want to study medicine, and you're fascinated by medicine, and you get stuck with that, Joe Schmo guy.
Right.
He will bring you down because he is unhappy with the life choice he has made.
Right.
Has not, and he has made, or unbeknownst to him, has made the decision not to change.
And Dan, if with your permission, this reminds me of an experience you had recently, but we won't get into that. But that's another example. Howie?
So it seems like Chris and Dan had like little negative feeling toward their internship. Now,
Just one of them. I've had two. It was just this one person. It wasn't everybody. There were many people there that loved the job. They enjoyed what they did. There's just this one person that couldn't stand it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I've also had internships where the people I worked with, they love their job. They love to share their information, to pass it on to their intern so that they could do well in life. And you know what? It may not even be the person itself. It may be the environment you work at. You may find yourself working.
Yeah, maybe you hate a fellow employee. It's not just
know,
the business.
Yeah, exactly. You hear fellow employees talking down about other people, and it gives you that sense of sickness in your stomach that you say, why would I go into such a field when all these other colleagues, some of them, don't even love it?
I got the exact same thing because of my two internships. The one place I won't go there because they treated it like a prison, whereas the other place I went to, it was like walking into a family. Like, hey, Chris, how's it going? You want some coffee? Blah, blah, blah. And they were just so inviting and friendly. And I think that atmosphere that you walk into makes all the difference in a student's choice about what career they want to get into.
I mean, I must say that my internship experience was a pretty positive one because my internship I did in archaeology field school here at Monmouth, so I wasn't going to a workplace or business. We get on the van, we go down, we do an archaeology dig, and I really enjoyed it, mainly due to the professors and the people around me. So I actually enjoyed my internship, and I never really had any negative thing where I didn't want to go. It seems like you two felt like there was these why am I here? It's such a
No, it's not. I enjoyed being there. It's just that these people had such a negative attitude about what they did that it was really discouraging, to say the least.
And as I was saying, it may not even be, if you're the intern, you're positioned with the person you're working with. It may not even be that person, but some of the person's colleagues working in the field, that you hear how they talk, how their colleagues talk. I mean, like I said, may not be that person, but the way they converse with their colleagues.
Right.
That also brings about that sickness.
Right.
There are so many different factors that can contribute to why a person may change their field.
Right, definitely. Brian, do you have anything?
Well, I agree that positive attitude is very important. And again, I'm going to plug the unit. I mentioned during the phone interview that, and I'm not trying to be silly about this, I like this stuff he posts. Almost every day, there's a motivational quote on there for people to read. And it's interesting, and I agree with really every single post I see by him, some motivational quote. By the way, I think I'm officially being endorsed as the motivation because he called me that on Facebook. I'm pretty proud of that. But it's important, and positive people like to make other people feel good. Unfortunately, those that aren't happy with themselves don't like to give that positive energy to others. And we try to have positive energy here on the show.
Definitely.
Yeah, you wanna do well in college, like we were saying, to get a job and all that, but the whole point is also to get a job and go to work every day in the field you love.
Definitely.
I agree with that 100%. I'd rather do something I love and make less money than make a lot of money and not be happy.
I'm going to attack that whole thing once I get to another point. But right now, the next comment that they make is that Wealthy people are willing to promote themselves and their values while everyone else thinks negatively about promotion. So they're not willing to put themselves out there all the time. They feel that they might be pushy or it may sound arrogant by putting themselves out into the world. Like I do my best to promote myself because I'm going to tell you something. That when I started my blog, I got nothing. Nothing. Because I made no effort to tell people that I even exist. You could have the greatest product out there. You can be the best student, A+, whatever. But if people don't know that you exist, it doesn't do squat for you.
And you know what, Chris? We, the four of us, are actually promoting our show. We have now 205 fans on our show.
That's right.
It
It's been
slowly
tough.
goes up, but you know what? It goes up. We've had, right now, today, Giant the Unit on our show.
That's right.
This is how people like us have to start, being ahead of everyone else out there. We promote ourselves, advertise ourselves.
I'm loving it. It's 9:57 p.m. We do need to get close to wrapping up here. We do have another show coming up.
Well, I'll tell you what. There are 17 of these things. So I went through about half. So I think we should just pick it up the following show
You know what?
Yeah.
and
good.
finish it up from there.
We'll like it. Good conversation.